Morning. Had a great night meeting all the yachties at Middle Percy. It's still got to be one of my favourite islands, and hopefully Grace enjoyed it. We're off. We're heading towards Port Clinton, but we may not pull in because at this stage we've got no wind or hardly any wind, about 5 knots, virtually 5 degrees from the nose, and we're not going to get there at the moment until 8 o'clock tonight. That's with both engines running and sailing. So if we don't get there, we don't get a pick up of speed throughout the day and get there before sunset, we won't go in because we've never been in before, and we'll just night sail, continue on, and we'll pull in somewhere else. So we'll see what happens. This should be an interesting day. Obviously anchored in a really good feeding ground. There's at least 8 to 10 turtles around us feeding, and the birds are diving in, feeding on the fish. Yeah, it's a magic spot. Port Clinton is a military area. You can't go ashore because there's some unexploded ordnance and it's restricted, but you can drop anchor in. Sometimes it's closed when there's a military exercise on, like it was when we headed north. But you can actually thank the military because it probably would have been built out. Actually, at one stage they wanted to use it as a coal port, but now it's been protected and beautiful. There is a few sandflies. We're sailing to Keppel Bay Marina this morning. Grace is going to fly out tomorrow, so we've got to get her somewhere where she can hop on a bus, a coach, go to planes, so she can go home. We'll miss her.
Yeah, it's been a good trip. We've sailed a lot, done some big sails, seen a lot of things. Said that she's a bit disappointed in me and I haven't played a practical joke on Cook for a while, so the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, so I'm sorry about your tomato relish.
Poor Grace. Didn't even notice it was hot. Tasted beautiful. Thanks, Grace. Now we're off to Humpy Island for the night. It's just off Great Keppel and not far off the shore. It'll only take us about an hour and a half to get there. We'll spend the night there. Humpy Island is a national park. It's actually got some beautiful coral and a couple of nice walks and a beautiful couple of beaches. It's actually a really, really good spot to stay for the day. And then early in the morning we'll be off to the outer reef. It's not a bad place to visit. 3 in the morning, we're heading off to Heron Island, out to Fitzroy Reef, and if we can't get in, because it can only hold a couple of boats, we're going to leave enough time so we can get to Lady Musgrave Reef, which has a bit more room. So we're leaving pretty early. But Shirley's snoozing. I'll look after it until about 7 or 8, and then Shirley can look after the helm. So, good morning. As you can see, I've got a couple of wrinkles under the eyes, but got a little bit of moon, so got about 8 knots of breeze, but as usual, it's pretty close to the direction we want to go. We're only about 9 or 10 minutes off Heron Island, and in between Heron Reef and what's the other one, Shirley? Wisteria Reef. So there's a bit of a channel in between the two. The plan is to drop anchor and have lunch and fly a few drone shots and have a look. But Heron Island we think is still open, and it's got a university research station on the island as well. The island itself is a coral cay which began forming around about 6,000 years ago. It was first discovered by white people in 1843. It's called Heron Island after the first people noticed a large number of herons feeding on the cay's reef. The shipwreck on the island is actually an 1884 ship that was actually bought and wrecked there, so it provided a bit of a breakwall for the entrance into the island. It's absolutely a beautiful reef, and so is its neighbouring reefs. Well worth a stop, absolutely looks beautiful from the air, and just a perfect day.
Next trip we'll definitely spend a bit more time here. Looks like a fantastic reef and island, very tranquil and pristine. Captain hard at work.
Shirley's idea. How better could it be? Out at the reef.
Money isn't real. Doesn't matter. It only seems like it does.
So we're just heading over to ONETREE Island. It's actually an island with a beautiful own coral all the way around it. It's a scientific reserve reef. So you're allowed to swim and you're allowed to do boating around it, but there's definitely no fishing unless it's traditional landowners, and no camping or anything like that. It's for the scientific world to study the reef. But it looks like a beautiful little island. We're just going to pull up. We're not going to actually drop anchor and show you what we can from the air, but it looks like a beautiful little reef. It'd be interesting to hear some results of what it's like with no human contact on this part of the reef. So we're very close to going to the entrance of Fitzroy Reef. Not recommended for too many boats in here. There's already 5, so hopefully we can find a spot, because I don't really just want to be out here. We'll have to sail back to the mainland, not stay, which is not good. So hopefully we can find a spot where we don't drag anchor and run into a bombie. We'll know very shortly. So the tide's still coming out quite strong.
Alright. Come on! Yeah! Here we go! Yeah!
Channel's well marked, but there's still a good tide running out. Still got about an hour and a half. So it's not a waterfall, but it's pretty strong. So in the cruising the Coral Coast, it says this is only good enough for a couple of boats, but I reckon you could get 20 boats in here. So yeah, don't panic when you read the cruising the Coral Coast. There's plenty of room for boats. There's probably not as much room as there is at Lady Musgrave, but there's still heaps of room. There's 8 boats in here, and there's still room for at least twice as many.
You and me, let's get together now, you'll see just how this life is supposed to be. Come on! Oh! Come on!
Beautiful. What a great day. Caught a huge fish. Had a good sail, even though we hadn't had the motor on. Heron Island's beautiful. ONETREE Island. And now, swimming in a coral reef. Beautiful.
Just so amazing. People would pay thousands of dollars to be where we are right now. Yesterday we've just sailed in, and here we are on the edge of a magnificent atoll, coral reef, and the water is pristine. It can be 6-7 meters deep in places, and you see the bottom. You can't get much better than that, and it's perfect temperature for swimming too. Love it.
We're on the edge of the atoll. You can actually see the waves and the swell breaking against the coral, and then just a small swells coming over. We're at high tide at the moment, but when the tide goes low, the swell will die down, and shells will go for a snorkel. It's beautiful.
Come in, water's awesome.
You go in. Warmer than yesterday. We're off this morning. Sun's just come up and low tide. We're heading out to Fitzroy Reef.
Turning over still, no current this time.
There's much current, but I still have to work hard at keeping in a straight line to go through the markers, but it's fun.
So inside the Great Barrier Reef, there's different marine park areas which give you different rules for fishing. It's not complicated, but there's a number of different areas where, you know, trawling's not allowed, you're allowed to do fishing but only with one hook per person, all sorts of rules. But the national parks provide you free charts for every area. There's 1 million charts, and basically a dark green area is a marine national park and there's no fishing at all. So in that area, which we've got a couple of areas with the reefs near us on the way to Lady Musgrave, we have to keep clear. So we want to do some fishing, we want to do some trolling, so we're going out past the green areas, and you can use the coordinates to get out there so you can do some trolling.
That doesn't look like it's going to be very good snorkeling weather.
So it's supposed to be pouring with rain down Brisbane way, and we're getting the rain coming. So the plan was to get into Hervey Bay before we get too much rain, but it looked like it might be coming early. Yuck! So it's pretty well raining pretty hard down Brisbane way. We're supposed to be only getting the edge of it, but it looks a little wet. We haven't had many wet days, but don't really want it when we're 70 nautical miles out to sea. We were planning on being back in Hervey Bay before the rain hit, but let's hope it's just all puff and no wind and rain.
Oh, the captain and I, we've had a slight change of plans. We've changed course. We're no longer going to Lady Musgrave. It looks like it'll be rainy and miserable there. Not very good for snorkeling, etc. So we're going to go to Bundy. See how we go there. I'm in charge, so
be safe. Looks like that looks like short. I think it's in charge to me.
well, we're crewing together.
You go out and check out what's going on, Dick. So we're pulling into the Bundaberg River tonight. There's heaps and heaps of places that we could drop anchor. We're going into the first little harbour, little marina where the Blue Water Yacht Club is and so on. You can go further on and there's another yacht club, or you can go right up and get some moorings right up near Bundaberg itself. We're just going to pull in, stay the night, and then we're going to go sailing with the whales tomorrow in Harvey Bay. That's just, instead of sailing Harvey Bay in the dark and not seeing the whales, we're just going to pull over and have a snooze. I hope you've enjoyed your time with us this week. Next time we're off to Harvey Bay, through the Great Sandy Strait. We survive a huge severe weather pattern that alas 6 fishermen drowned just off Bundaberg. Luckily we're hiding away in Tin Can Bay. Huge weather. Shirl still gets to hand feed some beautiful dolphins. Great episode. We'll see you then.
That was lovely. They're beautiful, gentle creatures. They're awesome.
That's all right. That's a dolphin.